So hey world, welcome to my channel and welcome to Superman&Lois Season 4 review. Not the whole season, just the first 3 episodes. But I kind of want to give just a little quick backstory to why I'm doing this show, like a review. I mean, I'm not doing every show that I watch. I could. But I already have a lot of videos to record. If I were to do that, it would be just a lot. So we'll just keep that for the moment. But yeah, like this is season 4. This is the last season of Superman&Lois. The show got canceled. But they got the last season and they got a chance to say goodbye, which other shows didn't. Legends of Tomorrow, looking at you. And I guess Batwoman didn't have an ending, kinda. I don't remember. But yeah, and this is the last season of this show and the last season of everything Arrowverse, because this is the last thing of the Arrowverse. And so I was to watch this show, but I didn't watch right away because I had other shows and then I had videos to record. Whatever. It was a lot going on, so I ended up not watching. But yesterday I watched the first 3 episodes, which are the ones that are already out. And so I was like, I want to do a review. I want to do a review because on my other channel, I did react to some videos of, the Arrowverse, The Flash, Kara, Barry, Brainy, Alex. So I did some stuff when I started my other channel because I love the Arrowverse. So there are some videos like really old, but there are some videos regarding the Arrowverse, and I always love doing watching reactions to the Arrowverse. The main channel that I watch is Blind Wave. I just finished watching their reactions to Superman&Lois. So if you want reactions to, a lot of shows, definitely go check them out because I love them. I've been watching them for years. And it started with the Arrowverse because they used to watch Supergirl, Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow, The Flash, Arrow, like everything. And everything is just ended now. And, it kind of passed, or it kind of changed for me. I started watching the DC Arrowverse shows, and then it kind of passed on to the Marvel shows because now I watch their reactions to like everything Marvel. And so, it kind of transitioned into the Arrowverse and DC to more of Marvel, which is what I like watch recently because DC is just not it. Everything that was good was canceled. This is the last show. That's why I wanted to do this review. I'm like, yeah, I kind of want to say goodbye to the Arrowverse, to Superman&Lois. And this is so fucking emotional. Like, oh my God. So I did point it out some notes of the episode. It is really emotional. And I put some notes, but there's not like a lot of things like for a review. And I mean that because most of the show, most of this season is more of like just enjoying watching. You know what I mean? It's really sad, it's really heartbreaking, but like it's just enjoyable. And that's what you should do with this season, is just enjoy. It's not like, oh my God, we got a villain, there's theories. There is still a little bit of that, but I feel like it was more because we got a lot of flashbacks, a lot of the story between Clark and Lois. And so it's more of like, just enjoying their story together and everything that happened till we get to this point, I guess. And yeah, I don't know if they're gonna do something related to the Arrowverse. I don't think so. This is the last show, so I feel like they could show like, maybe Kara, Supergirl, maybe Melissa could come back for a little bit. Like the last episode, that would have been cool. I miss Melissa. Maybe something like that, but I don't know. But either way, the whole season is just heartbreaking. It's just loss and pain and everything. But so yeah, there are some things to comment, but not like Agatha. I just did the review for Agatha all along, so it's not like, it's more you just have to watch it. That's basically it. It's just so good. You just have to watch it. And then obviously we still got the drama, we still got a storyline and the villain, which is Lex, but still it's like It's just so it's just so good. But like sad, but good. But in a way, I'm kind of tired of Lex Luthor. You know, I mean, I am kind of tired of Superman in general. There's so many versions of Superman and Lex, and even in Supergirl, Lex was the villain still in a season or like two. So it's like, it's enough of Lex. Come on, you could do something else. But this show really took Superman. This is my favorite Superman project. And I'm, not to say that I'm not into Superman, but it's more like if there's Superman and Supergirl, I'm going to go with Supergirl. Gays and the girlies, okay? I don't care about the straight white men. I don't care if it's Batman or Superman or whatever superhero it is. Unless it's also Barry Allen. You know what I mean? The CW with the Grant Gustin. That's the only straight man I love. But yeah. Also Oliver, I guess. I mean, Stephen Amell, I guess. Yeah. But, there's so many different versions of Superman. And so, for me, this is the best one. This is the best version of Superman. Like, Tyler really knocked it out of the park. Even the acting. And to think of the beginning of the show that I didn't want to watch because it wasn't in the Arrowverse. So, like, this show was after the crisis. And I thought, they're going to do the show. And it's still going to be connected to the other shows in a way. But it kind of wasn't. Because this show obviously feels like it's like another universe. Like it's a different Earth. And so that's one thing that I kind of... I kind of didn't want to watch. It's like, it's another Superman show. And it's not even going to be, after everything that happened with Crisis on Infinite Earths... They're not even going to do that Superman show in the universe where Supergirl and Barry and Oliver and the Legends are. Like, all of that work and everything that happened to be on the same Earth. And then they're going to do this show in a different one. And it's like, motherfucker, come on. And another Superman. And so I didn't watch the show when it began. And I watched the first episode and that was kind of pulled back. I'm like, oh, I don't know. But as time went on, the more I watched, the more the show grew into itself, the more I loved it, the more I loved how they portrayed these characters. It's just so good. And this season is the proof. This season is the proof of how good it is, how good the actors are, everybody. And I feel like, obviously, if it's like a comedy, you just have to make some jokes here and there. Sure, it's not for everybody still, so I'm not saying that it's easy. But it's when shows do stuff like this, like with loss and death, and it's where you can really test an actor and really see. It's just crazy. The acting was just crazy. It was just amazing. And I feel like I just gotta Google the name of the Lois's actress. Because I think her name was kind of weird. So I kind of didn't remember her name. But I know her from Grimm. I don't know if y'all watch that show, Grimm. Which was another amazing show. And her husband is the guy that played Nick. That was like Grimm. Or one of the Grimms, I guess. And yeah, they got married. He even directed episode 3, I think. Yeah. And so I already know her like from a long time ago. And so when she joined like, the Arrowverse and she showed up in Supergirl, I was like, oh my God, I know her from Grimm. And since then, and she was also one of the reasons that I watched Superman&Lois, because I'm like, her acting is good. I know her from Grimm. Like, her acting is good. I love her. And I'm like, okay, I want to give her also a chance to, to see what she's going to do in the show. So, yeah. Her name is Bitsy. Okay. She is so amazing. If you've watched Grimm, you know the drama that was going on there. So, yeah. A lot. But, yeah. Let me just close the window. And so, yeah. But now let's get into the episodes. I'm just going to go really quick into some stuff from the episodes to not, like I said, it doesn't need to be like a review, like really see, like trying to find clues for theories. It's more like just to comment on some stuff. And yeah. So, I mean, I guess we started off with trying to find, Sam, Grandpa, trying to find him because the other bitch tricked him in the other season. They were together and she tricked him. She played him. That was all sorts of fucked up, right? So yeah, so all of that, it was like, I don't think they're gonna kill him. But then I was like, this is the last season, so I don't know what we're gonna do. And then he hit the girl, the woman, I guess. He hit the woman. And then when they were burying him or close to burying him, the other guy said, "Oh, you're so coward. You're such a coward for hitting a woman." And it's like, she kidnapped him first, and like she kidnapped him. Like, hello? Like he didn't just hit a woman. Like, she kidnapped him. She was gonna kill him. She had a gun to him. So, like, what the fuck is the problem? Like, I would have hit her too. I don't care if she's a woman. Girl, what? Like, she was gonna kill me, so I'm supposed to not hit her? Hello? Uh-huh. And then, yeah, and then they actually buried him. Lex was talking about the daughters, and he was like, "Oh, your daughter's this, your daughter's that." And then Sam was like, "Oh, you want to talk about daughters? At least mine talk to me." And it's like, burn, bitch, burn. But then they actually buried him, and I'm like, are they gonna get there? Is it gonna be too late? I don't know. Because one thing that pissed me off was like Jordan was trying to find him, was trying to listen to him, and I'm like, he knows that Jordan has super hearing, right? Even if they don't know he's missing, he could have been like, "Jordan, help me." Even when they were in the warehouse and he was like taped to the chair, or like in the chair, whatever, and she had the gun at him, he could have been like, "Jordan, help me." Because if he was actually screaming Jordan's name, he would have actually been hearing, because Jordan had to hear and had to find Sam just like talking. He was kidnapped, and even when he was buried, he could have been like, "Help, somebody help," so that Jordan could hear. Like, Lex was there, so instead of saying Jordan, so that Lex doesn't find out who Jordan was and that he had powers, he could have been just like, "Help, help," and actually screamed. Because then when he actually found him and he said, "Oh, I heard Grandpa scream," but then none of the scenes where we saw Sam, he screamed. He literally didn't scream in any scene. But then he says he finds him because he screamed. Where? We didn't see. Like, what the fuck? So he just screamed off screen? Girl, come on. But then they get there in time, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I was expecting. Nothing's gonna happen. Right? Right. Episode 3 fucked me up. But yeah, we'll get to there. And then we got some really good, like, flashbacks. We got the flashback of Lois finding out he's Superman. And it was his first time having sex. Oh my God. Like, that was so crazy. I don't know. It's crazy to think. I guess he is Clark. He is Superman. But just look at him in the flashback. He's so, like, jacked. He has all of those muscles. You gonna tell me you never fucked anybody? Girly pump. What? Even if you're Superman. Like, what? You didn't fuck anybody? Damn. So I was kind of surprised, but that was so cute. In the way she handled it, she was like, "There's nobody else for me." It was just amazing. Oh, and then the flashback to to the scene where, like, she was in the hospital and close to giving birth. That whole scene deserves an Emmy. An Emmy. Do you hear me? That was so good. Her acting, the way she acted out the rage and actually being in labor and, combining with the rage, but then with the love that she has for Clark, and then, trying to have a conversation with him. All of that was done perfectly. What? Bitsy is so amazing. I cannot. She's literally going all out for this season, and I love it. Love it so much. And then, we get to the fight scene. Superman's dead. I didn't even realize, because Lex did say, "I want his heart." And I didn't even realize that when when Lois flipped him over, he had the hole in his chest. I didn't even realize. I forgot. Because she said, oh, and I'm like, oh, like, why did she react like that? She already knew he was dead. So why? But then it was because of the hole. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. And then, we got the whole scene. That whole scene, the acting, the way she just shows the loss and the her crying, and then the kids coming, and then she hugs them. Oh my God, it was just amazing. And that was the end for episode 1. Ended with that fucked up scene. And then we started episode 2 with like the same scene, but kind of like seeing the perspective of the town and all of the people in it. And so I was like, oh, they're gonna know. They're gonna know because she's like, look at the way she's reacting. They're gonna know that it's Clark, and they're gonna know. But it's like, it's fine, because I don't think anybody would ever do anything to hurt them or like expose their secrets, because they are from Smallville. They know them, so they know. They know to keep the secret, you know what I mean? And then, I loved Lana showing up, because I think they had like cut budgets for the show or whatever. And so the other characters are not going to appear that much. So I did love seeing Lana and Sarah. And then Lana was like, oh my God, he's just a really good friend of her. Let's just give him some space. Let's, so they didn't see Clark's face. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, that was crazy. That was so cute of Lana. Even if they did know, and it's like, okay, girl, like a good friend. But it was so cute. And the way they were looking at each other. And then they came to the house. They hugged each other. And like, I love their friendship. Like, oh my God. And then, we got the mission to get the heart back. And then Jordan was acting so motherfucking annoying. But I guess that's the way he was the whole show. I guess it depends on the person, because it depends. And also the way, for him to get powers, I feel like that's the thing with twins, because even Lizzie and Josie in Legacies, like Lizzie has just been always the broken one and the one that has more problems. And I feel like in this show, Jordan is literally the same. And then they have the powers. They have that extra thing that not only are they a normal person and they have to deal with their own shit for their own brain and all of that things, but then they have that added layer of having powers. Like Lizzie's witch, she has her powers. When she had an episode, everything went flying because of her powers. And then Jordan, it's difficult to control his powers. And so it is different for everybody to have powers and the way they're going to react to. Also, he had basically the whole show to develop his powers. And, I'll get there in episode 3, but now Jonathan also has his powers. So, and the way they made it was like, oh, he can do everything now. He has all the powers. He can do everything just easy. And in a way, it kind of feels like, it's the last season. So he's not going to have as much time to develop his powers like Jordan did. So they're going to have to, just give all of the powers at once. And it's like, okay, sure. But, he doesn't have the same time as Jordan did to develop his powers. So in a way, it kind of makes sense. They give him powers, in the last season. If they could have more time, I feel like they would have developed more. But also it depends on the person. And obviously, Jonathan is kind of better. He's just not better in a way that making it seem that like Jordan is bad or like broken or whatever, but he's just a more natural. And so in a way that it feels like obviously they can't have the same time to develop Jonathan's powers like they did with Jordan, so they just have to give all the powers at once. It also kind of works because they are different. They are different people, and it's going to work in different ways. It just comes naturally to Jonathan. And so, it is kind of an excuse, but at the same time, it works. You know what I mean? But yeah, I got ahead of myself with the thing of the powers because it's episode 3, but whatever, because I was talking about the powers, But yeah, he walked into the trap, and I'm like, we know it's a trap. He knows it's a trap. But then he has the hope because he wants his heart. He wants to save his dad. So it's really hard to watch from the outside and be like, don't go into the trap, don't be stupid. But being actually in the situation, and he knows it is probably a trap, but if there's one small chance that it isn't a trap, he gotta try. He has to try to save his father. And so I feel like, it's really easy to watch the show and be like, you are so dumb, you're going into the trap, why are you acting like this? But actually being in the situation, everybody would do the same, because if you just need that small chance. And kind of a proof that you can kind of get that everybody in the situation would do the same thing is that Jonathan did exactly the same thing, because he was saying to Jordan, don't go to the sound, don't go to the sound that you're hearing, because it's a trap. Lex is doing it on purpose because he wants to capture you or whatever. But then Sarah tells him that Lex is in the diner, so the hotel is empty and he can go search for the heart there. So he just told Jordan to not go into whatever place it was because it was a trap. But then he goes into the hotel where Lex said something bad was going to happen if one of them got there again. He literally told Jordan, don't go, it's a trap. And then he goes and gets himself in danger too. So then they're both in danger. See what I mean? Because he told Jordan not to go. But then when he had the opportunity to go and kind of do the same thing, but just in a different place because they were both searching for the heart, he went right away. Sarah did kind of convince him a little, sure. But then he still went. And it's like they were doing the same thing. So they were like criticizing each other, but then they did the same thing. And it's like, hello. Y'all did the same thing. But yeah, and then he destroyed the heart. And so in a way, Lex kind of wanted the thing to hold the heart, and he wanted Superman's heart. So I feel like he wanted the heart for something. So the heart that he destroyed, I feel like it wasn't Superman's. Can I just say? Theory time. It wasn't Superman's heart. He went to all that trouble to ask the monster to bring the heart. Not just kill Superman, but bring the heart. He wanted the heart for a reason. Otherwise, he wouldn't have asked for it. And so now he's just gonna destroy the heart? Hello? No, he wants to make them suffer. So he's gonna destroy a different heart to make them think that the heart was destroyed. But it actually isn't. Hello? But I guess we will see. I guess we will see what they do with the season. But yeah. And then, obviously, and this is kind of, again, I'm gonna go ahead to episode 3 again. But Lois had to choose, so it makes sense. Like, you can see Jordan's side, and he's already insecure and whatever was going on. So he would take what Lex said seriously, but Lois did choose the son that didn't have powers. Like, hello. You're gonna choose the one that doesn't have powers because the other one has powers. So even if he is still in danger, he has that advantage because he has the powers. And sure, they have kryptonite, but look at how he fought the kryptonite. And that whole scene was just amazing. Like, and the callback to Clark doing the same thing, like the back and forth. Chef's kiss. That whole thing was chef's kiss. Even, see what I mean? Even the kryptonite, he still fought the kryptonite. And then he could have still run, but then he stayed. And then Lex used the sound thing. But he fought the kryptonite. He fought the guys. He won. He could have went away, but then he just chose to stay there. And I'm like, oh, you had time to run. You had time to fly away. Or whatever. And so, yeah, of course Lois would choose the one that doesn't have powers. Because the other one has. Hello. But you can also see from Jordan's point of view, and this is what a lot of people don't do, and it's like the other scene. Like, it's so easy to judge, but the only thing you have to do is try to put yourself in the same place as the other person. You have to put yourself in the other person's shoes. What if it was you there? You know what I mean? Even if he knows that the reason, she said, the reason I chose because you have powers and he doesn't. But he was still like, even though I had powers, I was still in danger. I could have still died. So it still hurts that you chose him over me. But then by Lois's side, she would have had to pick one. Otherwise, they would have both died. So it is an impossible choice. It is an impossible choice. And so you can see both sides. I get that he was hurt of the choice, but again, Lois didn't have a choice, kind of. So, she just chose the one that didn't have powers. But I still get why he was upset. I still get it. So yeah, it's just fucked up. But then I feel like everything is gonna be fine. It's just a little more drama, but whatever. And then whatever got. Oh yeah, because Lana was the one that saved Jonathan. I was like, oh my god, Lana, now you helping us again, girl. I love Lana. I love Lana so much. Ever since the beginning, like I love Lana. Like, oh my god. And then yeah, we finished the episode with another emotional scene. Just Mia. This is just, it's just crazy. This season is just, it just hurts. Because not only is the finale, like the whole season is the finale. The whole season is just emotional and full of hurt and full of heartbreak and loss. And it's like, goddamn. And this is the last show of the arrowverse. So we also have that on top. And then the last season for this show. And then that on top. Like, goddamn. It's just a lot of loss. It's just a lot. And then we started the new episode. And then Sam was asking for the serum. And I'm like, okay, so is he gonna give the serum to Superman or something? Like, but then I was like, if he does give the serum to Superman, then we have another monster. So I feel like there's something you can do with the serum that can help, maybe. And so I don't know. And then we got the flashback with Clark like taking the glasses off. It was kind of like funny because it's the thing with the glasses, but yeah, the way they made the scene was so pretty. And this is what I mean when I say that this is my favorite version of Superman. And it's just the way they do stuff. Like the simple taking off the glass, like the light and the music. It was just incredible. And you don't see that in a big budget movie. It's such a simple thing, but it's so important. And that was so amazingly done. So amazingly done. Oh. Goddamn, this show is so good. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, they're fighting, whatever. Oh, I mean, I guess, yeah, and then, because they were fighting, and the acting for everybody, because then Jordan and Jonathan were fighting, and, like, Jonathan, like, the whole scene, like, what the fuck? Like, the rage and the way he was saying things, he was mad. And so I feel like some of the things he said was like stupid because he said, oh, well, now my dad is dead. But like, he's Jordan's dad too. So hello, how do you think he feels? But he was mad. So in that moment, he's not going to understand how the other person feels. He's trying to explain how he feels. And then he just gets his powers and he's just flying and he gets everything. And I'm like, oh, girl. But it goes back to what I said. It depends on the person. He's just more natural at it, I guess. And, the powers, to activate the powers were more like the X-Men. You kind of have that emotional break and then your powers are activated. Like in the X-Men, the X gene, the mutant gene, whatever, it kind of is the same thing. Like when they have that emotional breakdown or something happening, the power kind of activates. And it was kind of something like that. And then yeah, he was looking at the serum and I'm like, what if he injects it on himself and then he becomes the monster and then he has to fight the other monster? But I was like, okay, maybe not. And then when they show the other guy, so because we also got the other two, which I forgot the names, girl, but they are only appearing on episode 3. Like, that's crazy. Like, they have been a part of the show, like, for so long. And they're just now appearing on episode 3 of this season. But yeah, it's the budget cuts. Okay, here in the name it says Steel. It is Natalie and her father. So yeah, they just appeared on episode 3, and I'm like, girl, really? Like, hello, the fuck? And yeah, like they just appear in episode 3 out of nowhere. They have like that whole scene of like, trying to save the world. They didn't have a chance to fight for their world, so now they're gonna fight for this world. And now I'm just looking at the cast. We haven't seen Chrissy in this season. Where is Chrissy? Like, hello? She's just not gonna be here. Like, I hate the networks, honestly. They're not gonna commit to a fucking show, and especially a season 4 of a show. But then they have a lot of other shows that are like so trash. Ugh. But yeah, when they were at the DOD and they were like with Sam, and he was like, they were like meeting other people that work at the DOD. Like one of the people, like they said their name, like one of the guys, and I'm like, okay, that guy works for Lex. Like so clearly. I'm like, that guy is gonna do something. Otherwise, we wouldn't need to know his name. You know what I mean? And then, lo and behold, he goes to the office and he shot Sam. And it's like, ugh. And then he just, the nerve for him to shoot him. And then he just says, sorry, Captain, or sorry, sir. And then he just goes. And it's like, girl, you just shoot him. You're going to say sorry? Not even asking for help? Like, girl. And then I was like, oh, yeah. So now he's definitely putting the serum in himself. But then I was like, I thought he was going to become the monster. I thought he was going to become a monster to fight the monster. Because I feel like the monster had like to die. Like the other Superman kind of had to die to become the monster. So I feel like if he goes outside and he fights the monster kills him. And then he comes back and becomes another monster. So they have to fight each other. But no, the plan was for the heart to go to Superman. And that was also another crazy thing. And then when he just goes outside and Lois is there, everything that happened already. And now she has to lose him. And then the scream. And then they showed the scream and like, but like it was like muted. They didn't show like show the sound of her scream at first. And I'm like, okay, I'm mad. I hate when they do like a scream scene and they mute the scream. And it's just like, the background music or like some sad music. But then she kind of gave another scream and we could actually hear it. So I'm like, okay, good. That's when you want to feel like the scream. Like to mute the scream is just like, it was like Wanda in Age of Ultron when Pietro died. They muted the scream and it's like, girl, why? But yeah, then he's dead. And then Henry, I think it's his name, right? Henry. He says, oh, I need to take the body. And I'm like, oh my God, they're going to put the heart in Superman. And then Superman's mother, or like the woman that's on the fortress, she said that it's a human heart. And then he said because of the serum, it might be good. But then on the reaction, they said that if he does come back with that heart, it's like Clark may come back, but like, without superpowers. Because how does it work? Like he has the heart of a human, but his blood is still Kryptonian, no? So I feel like he might be weaker, but he might still have powers because only the heart is human, but the rest is still Kryptonian. So I feel like he will still be bulletproof because the skin is still Kryptonian. I don't think anything would change. But I mean, I guess the way the heart beats is going to be less. It's going to beat less than a Kryptonian heart. So that could make a difference on pumping the blood and whatever. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But now both kids have superpowers. This is the last season. So they can do something like Clark comes back but without powers. And they carry on the legacy. Something like that. And then, yeah. We kind of finished the episode with him waking up. Like the classic. The classic scene that every show has. And yeah. So now we're here. And I guess we will see for episode 4. If you watch this show, let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on the arrowverse, everything. And yeah, I guess I'll see you next week. I don't remember the day when it comes out. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next week for episode 4 of season 4 of Superman&Lois. Let me know everything down below. Let me know everything down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.